Hello, future scientists. Welcome to an exciting journey into the heart of chemical bonding. Today, we are unraveling the fascinating concept of resonance, a phenomenon that gives molecules their unique stability and properties. From understanding basic electron movement to exploring advanced molecular orbital theories, we'll cover resonance across 4 levels: easy, medium, hard, and hardest. Let's dive in and unlock the secrets of molecular structures. Ready to discover why some molecules just can't be described by a single picture? Let's start with the basics of resonance. Resonance is a fundamental concept in chemistry. Imagine a molecule where a single Lewis structure simply isn't enough to describe its true bonding. That's where resonance comes in. It's a way to represent the delocalization of electrons within a molecule or ion. Instead of one fixed structure, we use multiple contributing structures called resonance structures or canonical forms. The real molecule isn't any one of these, but rather a hybrid of all of them. This concept is crucial because many molecules exhibit properties, like uniform bond lengths or enhanced stability, that a single Lewis structure just can't explain. Resonance helps us visualize how electrons are spread out, leading to these unique characteristics. So, what are the key things to remember about resonance? First, resonance structures are purely hypothetical. They don't exist individually. The actual molecule is a stable resonance hybrid. Second, when drawing these structures, only pi electrons from double or triple bonds, or lone pairs, are allowed to move. The positions of the atomic nuclei always stay fixed. Third, all valid resonance structures must have the same total number of valence electrons and the same overall net charge. And finally, a very important point, the resonance hybrid is always more stable than any single one of its contributing structures. This extra stability is what we call resonance energy. Take ozone, for example. We can draw two structures, but in reality, both oxygen-oxygen bonds are identical, an average of a single and a double bond, which the resonance hybrid perfectly illustrates. Now that you've grasped the basics of resonance, it's time to put your understanding to the test. Here are 3 practice questions to help solidify what you've learned. Take your time, think through the concepts, and see if you can apply the rules of resonance to solve them. Good luck! Feeling good about the basics? Great! Now, let's deepen our understanding of resonance, explore the rules, and uncover its impact. To truly master resonance, you need to understand the rules for drawing valid structures. Remember, atomic nuclei never move. Only pi electrons and lone pairs are delocalized. All resonance forms must have the same number of valence electrons and the same net charge. Crucially, each structure must be a valid Lewis structure, ideally obeying the octet rule and minimizing formal charges. We use a double-headed arrow to indicate that these structures are contributors to a single resonance hybrid, not separate molecules in equilibrium. This delocalization provides extra stability, which we quantify as resonance energy. This energy is the difference between the actual molecule's energy and the most stable hypothetical contributing structure, explaining why conjugated systems are often more stable than expected. For resonance to occur, a molecule needs a specific arrangement called conjugation. This means you'll typically find alternating single and multiple bonds, or a multiple bond next to an atom with a lone pair, a positive charge, or a radical. Classic examples include allylic systems like the allyl carbocation, conjugated dienes such as buta-1,3-diene, and especially aromatic systems like benzene. Benzene is a perfect illustration. Despite having alternating single and double bonds in its caeculase structures, all its carbon-carbon bonds are identical and intermediate in length, showing complete delocalization of its pi electrons. This incredible stability is a direct result of resonance. Resonance isn't just a theoretical concept, it's incredibly important in organic chemistry. It helps explain why certain molecules are exceptionally stable, like carbocations, carbanions, and radicals, by spreading their charge or unpaired electron over multiple atoms. This delocalization also profoundly affects a molecule's acidity or basicity. For instance, carboxylic acids are acidic because their conjugate base, the carboxylate ion, is highly resonance stabilized. Moreover, resonance influences a molecule's reactivity, guiding where electrophiles or nucleophiles will attack by indicating regions of high or low electron density. It's a powerful tool for predicting chemical behavior. You've now explored the essential rules for drawing resonance structures, understood resonance energy, and seen its significance in organic chemistry. It's time to test your grasp on these medium-level concepts. Here are 5 practice questions designed to challenge your ability to identify conjugated systems, draw resonance forms, and explain molecular properties based on resonance. Take a moment, apply what you've learned, and deepen your understanding. Ready to dive deeper? Let's analyze the nuances of resonance, distinguishing major contributors and connecting theory to real-world applications. When drawing resonance structures, it's crucial to understand that not all contributors are equal. Some are major and contribute more to the overall resonance hybrid, while others are minor. The stability of a resonance structure is determined by several factors. Structures with more covalent bonds are generally more stable. Those where all atoms have complete octets, especially for second-row elements, are preferred. Also, structures with fewer and smaller formal charges are more stable. If charges are present, negative charges should ideally reside on more electronegative atoms, and positive charges on less electronegative ones. Structures with significant charge separation are typically less stable. Understanding these criteria helps us accurately predict the true electron distribution and properties of a molecule. Formal charge calculation is a vital tool for assessing the relative stability of resonance structures. Remember, formal charge equals valence electrons minus non-bonding electrons minus half of the bonding electrons. The most significant resonance contributors are those that exhibit minimal formal charges across their atoms. For instance, in carbon dioxide, the O is equal to C is equal to O structure, where all atoms have zero formal charge, is the predominant contributor. Structures like OCCO- with charge separation are minor contributors because they are less stable. Furthermore, for an atom to participate in resonance, it must possess an unhybridized p orbital, meaning it's typically sp2 or sp hybridized. This allows for the necessary parallel overlap of p orbitals, enabling electron delocalization across the conjugated system. It's important not to confuse resonance with tautomerism. Resonance involves only the movement of electrons, with atomic nuclei remaining fixed, and its structures are hypothetical representations of a single molecule. Tautomerism, however, involves the actual migration of an atom, usually a hydrogen, along with electron rearrangement, resulting into distinct, real isomers in dynamic equilibrium, like the ketoenol forms. Resonance theory has wide-ranging applications. It explains intermediate bond lengths in molecules like benzene and the nitrate ion. It clarifies why certain compounds are more acidic or basic, such as phenols being more acidic than alcohols, due to the stabilization of their conjugate bases. Moreover, resonance helps predict reaction mechanisms and even accounts for the vibrant colors of many organic dyes. You've now delved into the intricacies of major and minor resonance contributors, formal charges, and the crucial distinction between resonance and tautomerism. It's time to challenge your analytical skills with these 7 hard-level practice questions. These problems require a deeper understanding of stability criteria, bond order, and the application of resonance theory to explain various chemical phenomena. Good luck, and analyze carefully. All right, future chemists. Prepare to push your limits. We are about to explore the most advanced aspects of resonance, connecting it to molecular orbital theory and real-world applications. Beyond the basic rules, understanding advanced resonance patterns is key. We look at allylic lone pairs, where a lone pair next to a double bond delocalizes, or allylic carbocations, where a positive charge moves within a pi system. These specific patterns govern electron flow in many organic reactions. While resonance theory, a valence bond approach, uses hypothetical structures, molecular orbital theory offers a more fundamental and accurate view. It describes pi electrons as truly delocalized, existing in molecular orbitals that span the entire conjugated system. For benzene, Mo theory paints a picture of 6 carbon p orbitals overlapping to form delocalized pi molecular orbitals, where the 6 pi electrons are spread evenly, leading to its exceptional stability. A critical application of resonance is in understanding aromaticity. Aromatic compounds are cyclic, planar, fully conjugated systems that exhibit extraordinary stability. Following Huckel's rule, they must possess 4n plus 2 pi electrons. Benzene, with its 6 pi electrons, is the quintessential example. In contrast, anti-aromatic compounds are cyclic, planar, fully conjugated systems with 4n pi electrons, making them highly unstable. Non-aromatic compounds, on the other hand, simply lack one of the criteria for aromaticity, like planarity or full conjugation. These classifications are vital for predicting a molecule's stability and reactivity. This knowledge is not just theoretical, it's engineered into materials. Conjugated polymers, for example, leverage delocalized pi electrons to conduct electricity, forming the basis of organic electronics and solar cells. Resonance also underpins the vibrant colors of dyes and pigments, where extensive conjugation determines light absorption properties. Resonance also plays a crucial role in heterocyclic compounds, which are cyclic molecules containing atoms other than carbon in the ring. Many of these are aromatic. Take pyrrole, for instance. Its nitrogen atom contributes its lone pair to the ring's pi system, making it aromatic with 6 pi electrons. This means the nitrogen's lone pair is part of the delocalized system and is not readily available for protonation, making pyrrole a very weak base. Contrast this with pyridine, where the nitrogen's lone pair is in an sp2 orbital, pointing outside the ring, and does not participate in the aromatic pi system. This makes pyridine a strong base because its lone pair is localized and available. These distinctions are critical for understanding the chemical behavior of these important biological and industrial molecules. While resonance theory is powerful, it's essential to recognize its limitations. It's a conceptual model using hypothetical structures, not a direct representation of electron movement. It struggles to quantitatively predict resonance energy and doesn't fully capture the dynamic nature of electron delocalization. Molecular orbital theory, which views electrons as inherently delocalized, offers a more accurate and fundamental description. However, resonance theory remains an indispensable qualitative tool for organic chemists. Its legacy is immense, influencing fields from material science, where conjugated polymers enable flexible electronics and solar cells, to drug design, where understanding resonance-stabilized functional groups is critical for creating effective pharmaceuticals. Resonance continues to be a cornerstone of chemical understanding and innovation. You've navigated the deepest waters of resonance, from Mo theory to aromaticity and real-world applications. Now, it's time to tackle the ultimate challenge. Here are the first 5 out of 10 hardest-level practice questions. These problems demand critical thinking, a comprehensive understanding of all concepts covered, and the ability to apply them to complex scenarios. Take your time, analyze each question thoroughly, and push your knowledge to its limits. Let's continue to test your mastery of resonance with the final 5 hardest-level practice questions. These problems will further challenge your understanding of advanced concepts, including conductive polymers, electron density distribution in complex systems, and the implications of varying resonance contributions. Apply all your accumulated knowledge, demonstrate your problem-solving skills, and solidify your expertise in chemical bonding and molecular structure. And that brings us to the end of our in-depth exploration of resonance. We've journeyed from its basic definition to its advanced implications in molecular orbital theory and real-world applications. Remember, continuous learning and practice are key to mastering complex topics like this for GME. For more such comprehensive educational content, practice questions, and expert guidance, visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting chemistry lessons. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep aiming for success.